Reformed Church. Sorry, if you look out, train might have blocked me a little bit. Along 1775 states that have left and rejoined and stuff, right? Now, what if I were to tell you, the main thing you've always noticed that most American flags always have 13 stripes, right? Now, what if I were to tell you that there's one specific American flag that has more than 13 stripes and more than 13 stars? Would you believe me if I told you that existed?
Yeah.
On the chart, I didn't leave reference. But yes, it does exist. This. So, this is called a Star-Spangled Banner flag. Does anyone want to take a guess why it would be called a Star-Spangled Banner flag? Yes. Actually, no, I actually been after it. That was from the War of America, days of the War of 1812. But what happened is that Vermont and Kentucky had just joined the Union. So that added two new states. So they weren't sure, no one wasn't sure what they want to do this yet. They were debating, should we add 2 stars, should we add 2 stripes? We said, well, why not both? And everybody realized why not both doesn't work with 15 because a flag's kind of be a bulky, white flag to something that probably is nice. So they then decided that going forward, they would just add a star or add however many stars for different states and leave 13 stripes in all the 13 original colonies. This is the style of flag that Francis Scott Key saw when he wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. It was originally opposed to the defense of Fort McHenry, which is a real-life fort located in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Fort Independence is one of 4 places that you will see this flag flying. The other one is on the USS Constitution. Because the Constitution was around during the War of 1812, they still have that flag on their ship. Francis Scott Key's grave, and of course Fort McHenry in Maryland. Are there any questions? Alright, cool. So, back to the section. Called
A mortar?
yes, mortar. This is found somewhere in downtown, one of the cemeteries here, somewhere down in downtown Boston. I believe it was the Old Graney burial grounds, which is where John Adams is buried, as well as Sam Adams, John Q. Allen, a few of the other. Mother Goose is also buried there. So this was a Civil War era mortar, which one of the times this fort was active. It was made in 1870. This could shoot up to about 3 miles.
3 miles? How does it work?
So it works is that you ram down, there'd be 12 soldiers here, and they'd operate mortar. So you do is you ram down a bunch of gunpowder, you place in a mortar ball, aim it at your target, fire. That hits. So this is considered one of the first pieces of mobile artillery, despite it being so an example of what mobile artillery is today would probably be like a tank. And stretches all the way to where that little looks like the mini lighthouse up there is, a big wooded area. That tower. That's all Long Island. In front of that is another island, which is called Spectacle Island. That island used to be completely flat. From the early 90s to I believe the early 2000s there was a project here in Boston called the Big Dig. What they did is they took a highway and they moved it underground. And with that, they took all the dirt that they used to drill stuff, and they put it out on Spectacle Island, and it made all those really nice hills. They now have hiking trails, bike riding trails, picnic areas. I think you could camp out there. I'm not positive. If you ever want to visit, you could catch the Harbor Island Ferry leaves from the Long Wharf, which is located right by the New England Aquarium, and it can drop you off there. You can also visit George's Island. Unfortunately, you can't see from here. That's a bit too far out. Actually, might be. I'm not positive. I think behind Long Island might be George's Island. It's a bit far out, so I can't 100% guarantee that it is, but George's Island has a fort just like this. It was designed by Colonel Sylvester there, who was the architect for this fort. That fort's a sister fort called Fort Warren, and it's actually bigger. New Actually, kind of grown to about that. Used to see those big giant things, containers there that look like dinosaur eggs. It's called Jurassic Island. They genetically engineered T-Rexes and Triceratops and stuff. Just kidding. I wish that was true, but it's actual Deer Island. And that contains everything you flush down your toilet if you live in Boston. That is the water treatment plant, and it's what's keeping Boston Harbor from being one of those polluted bodies of water on the planet, which it used to be. When I was growing up, my dad told me when I was younger that when he grew up, learning to swim in Boston, he swam like this. He would push all the junk out of you when you wanted to go for a swim. So because those were so bad, the marine life was dying.
How far this cannon shoots? Like
This cannon goes 3 miles.
3 miles. Yeah, okay.
The small mortar that goes, I think, 1.5 to 2 miles, 1.5 miles.
And this is the size of.
Yep. Yep. And those cannonballs weighed approximately 450 pounds.
Oh.
And then, of course, they would load them with shrapnel.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, very a lot of weight.
Flying it.
That's why it took 20 guys to work one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So when was it like last used before?
Ours is being used as an active fortress. World War II.
Okay.
The original cannons, and there were cannons all over around this fortress, all over the top here, and plus on the outside of the fortress. All the cannons were taken down in World War II and melted for the war effort.
Yeah.
They needed it for the ships and everything, mostly for the ships.
It's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These were cheaper to make, they were lighter, they loaded faster, you could hit harder than a Rodman's cannon. They're called Parrott rifles and not like your Parrott cannons because they have a rifling mechanism in the back, which is what that spiral thing is. So to give you an idea what a rifling mechanism is, if you watch James Bond there, in July we have Thursday night viewing tours where you can just kind of come during the twilight hours, you can watch the sunset from on top of Fort Independence. It's a nice views of the harbor and stuff.